Just the two of us and we can stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night, everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. All that time away from you, I didn't think I'd make it without you by my side. Let me feel your love again. Just the two of us and we could stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night, everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel.
And we are back for another Hockey Nation show with hockey coach Frenchy directly for the beautiful country of Thailand. And we have two co-hosts tonight. One directly from Alberta area, Mr. Randy Walkman, and from Toronto in the caveman, ready to rock and roll, Mr. Enortap. Welcome back, both of you, on a great evening on Monday night, August 14, 2023. Standing ovation for you, Enortap, from the Festival of the Shrimp, where Danny is co-star of the evening with Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor, he got tickets, did he?
Yeah.
He was able to get tickets. So
He does a pre-show of Taylor Swift tonight. So we'll be interested to see that, how many people will pop up over there.
Oh, my God.
But Enortap, we have
funny,
Randy
'cause
with
he
us,
doesn't do anything Swift.
between both of us, Mr. Enortap. So we're going to have a great conversation tonight. A lot of things about the NHL going to go around, the floating over there. But the exercise tonight is going to be, we have to produce one line, one goalie, two defensemen, three forward, one center, two winger, under $45 million. At the end of the day, it was pretty easy when you think about that. But at the overall, me and Enortap, it was really boring at the end of the day.
You copied me.
But
You copied me
Mr.
again, folks,
Randy
did you?
went to another direction in Enortap. So going to be interesting. We'll do that. We'll talk about this. Couple of news around NHL. We have really very bad, sad news from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then I'm going to go through the round. And then I will ask you tonight, which team are really worse or better during the offseason move on each division? Maybe you have the time to go all four, be great. If not, be fine. And that's what we got on the program on the great evening on Monday night. And hopefully everybody have an amazing, great start of the week. Here tonight, we're going to talk about hockey for sure. We'll be back Wednesday night for another Ab Barbecue show with Marco and Enortap. We're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens. Very quiet around the team anyway. Not much was going on. We have, of course, we're going to do the Tic-Tac-Toe game tonight. We have two contests. We have Enortap and Mr. Randy. And then we are back with a Frenchy Quiz. Well, we got a phone call for the Lewitt and Smith firm about the question number 2 last night. So we have to readjust all the answer, and definitely we have new winner of the show last night. So we want to talk about this at the end of the show. So that's what we got on the menu tonight. Hopefully you had an amazing, great show with us, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, please, to click on the likes. Be respectful in the chat. And we have a couple of moderators already in the house. We have Mr. Ron 20 back from Utah with us tonight. Big fan of the Los Kings. We have Jose Duarte directly from upstate New York. Hopefully he's doing well. Again, he's just turned around like 38 years old last week for what we heard. And finally, we have, of course, the assistant captain Luciano Graziano is in the house tonight. Welcome to moderator tonight. And finally, we have a couple of people knock the doors. We're going to go very quickly, guys. Of course, we just talked about Danny, whatnot, to welcome back his brother. I don't know if brother is over there, or maybe brother is between condominium walking around. But we have Mr. Roger back in the house tonight. Directement de l'Ange Gardien, the Angel of the Hockey Nation, back in the house. Luc Lafortune is in the house tonight. And the Montreal Canadiens got the AK-47. Us, we have the only AK, Mr. Andy Kuivula in the house. Back from the house, Mr. Enortap, directly from your neighbor, a little bit south, but big, very close, our friend Jose. I'm talking about Mr. Larry Lavallee, back in the house. Our friend GP16 back in the house too. Welcome back, GP. Thanks to be with our Canadian Live show. We want to flip everybody very quickly. We have anybody else pop up. If I miss it, Félix d'Andrea. Félix, welcome to the show. Thanks. C'est la première fois que tu es ici. C'est la première fois. Welcome. Si pas la première fois, bien de retour avec nous ce soir. The Hockey Nation. Welcome back, my friend. Thanks to be with our Canadian Live show. Our friend Ghislain Laframboise is in the house tonight. Welcome back, Ghislain. Long time. Glad to have you aboard. We have a few people pop up. Toi, tu Philippe, welcome back, Philippe, directement de Sainte-Thérèse, I believe. Thanks so much, Philippe. We have Nicolas de Goubibono from the région de Sherbrooke, de la belle province de Québec. And do we miss a couple of people? I thought pick up everybody from the top at the bottom. Yann Genet, the New Brunswick, is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Yann Genet. Here we go. I want there all the way up. Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. KLS, Mr. Enortap, knock the door, Mr. Enortap. KLS. He's right now in the garage. He just turned on the Polaris 440, Mr. Enortap. He just sit there. He's just dreaming. Close his eyes. You see the snow right now in front of him. And now he turn left, turn right, and he see a really great, nice deer on his right side. And Danny's on the left side. He see shrimp. So it's two completely different people out there dream. One about a snowmobile, one is about shrimp. So it depends what you see that. The live is all about your perspective of what you like to have in your life, Mr. Enortap. Mr. William McClary is in the house.
William, welcome.
Jose Calabro from New Jersey, back in the house. From Ottawa, Claude Richard, knock the door. Welcome back, Claude. Enortap just said, don't forget to put your shoes out in front of the door, please. That'd be appreciated, if you don't mind, Claude. Hey, my friend Gary is in the house tonight. Gary, welcome back. Thanks for being with us.
That's a nasty thing.
If you think about this, Mr. Enortap, between you and me, Randy look like he's comfortable. His chair's like
he's very comfortable.
Life is great. So it's not a big deal.
You
It's
two
like,
are not
yeah,
going to
enjoy
make
here,
me comfortable by the end of the night. I guarantee it. I'm going to be sweating it out at the end of the night, knowing you two.
We're gonna wake
That'd
you
be
up, Randy. We're
awesome
gonna wake
to
you
see
up.
that, Mr. Enortap. Anyhow, we go, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, please, to click on the like. Any question, put it in the queue, or any statement you want to put in the chat, please. Don't hesitate. We have Randy and Enortap. So, you have any question, please. Let's talking about hockey. Sebastian in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, on my hand, stream chat are slow happening. They are on the phone. I don't know why, but mine looking good here. Anyhow, Mr. Natal, want to go to the NHL news. Let's talk here about the weather subject tonight, guys. First of all, the good news. 58 last night. Now we have 57 days before the beginning of the season. Of course, Sean Farrell for the Montreal Canadiens before the season of the season 2023-2024. Tonight, we're going to talk about the best line under $45 million. We're going to have a couple of conversations about this. For the next 5 years, the line we're going to bring you to win the Stanley Cup. Then we have, of course, the app Mark Trait, another app Daily News, 371 episode. You can look about this one over there. And finally, guys, I make not that one over there. Not that one over there. Do I have another one? Yes, on the Ad Nation, guys, I create some kind of video. I talk about my scouting report. Igor Chernyshov, please watch this kid, 6'2", 192, shoot on the right, play on the left winger. Really good. We expect him to be a top 15, but not be surprised to become a top 10 for the upcoming NHL draft 2024. Watch about my video, 1 minute 36 seconds, or Igor Chernyshov, Mr. Enortap. What do you think about him?
Oh, I will. I will watch it for sure.
Sounds
like a very promising.
It's another Russian players. Honestly, it's going to be great on the draft at 2024. We're going to talk about draft 2024 next couple of weeks about that one there. First subject of the night, guys, is honestly Rodion. I said Rodion, but it's Rodion Amirov, first 15 overall pick, I believe, for the Toronto Maple Leafs in 2020. Passed away today. When you have some kind of illness, cancer, the last couple of months ago. Moved from Russia to Germany. Some point was recovery a little bit better, but the last couple of weeks it was not very good. So RIP. I don't know, Randy, you want to talk about this? I know Randy is very close for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So if you want to talk about the young man that passed away today at 21 years old.
It's my heart's a little broken today. He's anytime you lose a young kid like that for 20 years old, and his heart, you can't speak enough of this kid's heart. He was just a gem of a person. My heart goes out to the family. My heart goes out to all Maple Leafs. I love the kid. I loved the kid when we were drafted. It's sad to see him go. The hockey has lost a true gent, a winner, and a heck of a kid.
Well said, Randy. No, well said. I couldn't agree more. I mean, he had such a promising road ahead of him, but I mean, it put aside the hockey aspect of it. As you said, a very good human being. Always had a very infectious smile and liked to, make things liked around him. And so I too extend my condolences to his loved ones, and he'll be missed.
Coach Gene has already asked me a question tonight. He wants me to address the Alberta rivalry, so let me know when I can address that tonight.
Yeah, we're going to go a little bit later. I just tell him about that. We'll try to figure out about this. For night. Look like Sebastian has some kind of problem with the internet for his site. Sebastian, just turn off and then turn back your phone. Maybe that's the problem there about this. You never know about this. A very sad news for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're going to talk about a little bit more. The first subject of the night, guys, will be different league. And I want to have a couple of comments in the chat. I think this is really a big subject happening last week, and we did not bring this on the table. I was waiting to do the NHL night, Hockey Nation, not the Ab Nation, but the QM, the Quebec Major Hockey Junior League, decided to ban all the fight and for the upcoming season. This is the first league major decide to go that direction. So nobody can fight. If it's a case, they get a 1 game suspension. You can go the way like this. I don't want to go deep about the rules. When I want to talk about this, I want you, both of you, your comments about what you feel about the band fight versus other league like OHL and WHL out front kind of the rules about fight. So I would like to hear from you in our top first, and then following by Randy.
I can't say that it's
Really?
okay. Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead, and no, you go ahead.
go
He
first.
said you.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say I'm not 100% surprised because there were a lot of indications that it was gonna head this direction. It's just when you do something like this, I don't know. Hockey, as we know, it's a fast game. It's an emotional game. Things happen during the course of a game that you know your emotions definitely come out, and I'm not saying that those stage fights or whatever, but sometimes you get caught up in the heat of the game in the moment, and these things spontaneously happen. So to ban it, I mean, if you're gonna do that, I think it should be more of a concerted effort among every league.
Awesome.
Otherwise, you're setting these poor kids up for a major shock by the time they get to the NHL, if they get
And
to
that,
that stage.
and that's my concern with the league players in the Quebec. I understand why they're doing it, but I'm with the Enortap here. I worry about that you're putting the Quebec junior league players behind the ball, because the other leagues have to follow suit. And the other concern is I did an interview about 2 or 3 years ago, Coach, and I interviewed a WHL referee, believe it or not. And I asked him about the issue of fighting, and he went into detail with me why it's a bad idea to ban fighting. And his concerns is that the league will now do more of the other violence. You know what I mean, in no trap? He thinks it's going to cause
100%.
more stick violations, more high sticking, more stuff like that. So that was
100%.
his. Yeah, and I think I agree with him.
Yeah, that's a great comment in the chat for everybody about this. William said in 1998, 86, 87, Detroit have one of the 64 major fight, and now Carolina have only 6 last season about that one there. I think I was going to same thing what he said. Sean McIntyre in the chat, by the way. If they made 16 to 18 with Cage, then that would but works with the USLK, the overseas, so why not here? That's the one thing. Second thing, I think you have a guy 20 years old and 16 years old try to start a fight, everything like that. I think that's not where you want to be now. The game is changing the last 20 years, maybe more, 30 years now, where it's really focusing more on the human being of the person as the junior. If you think about this, I don't know, 16 team at 20 players, you talk about approximately 300 to 400 players playing the QM. How many of them are going to make the NHL one day, right? Not many of them. So all of them is the transition to play hockey, what they love, the passion about this, and then go to become a human being, a father, a husband, an employee, whatever they want to accomplish in life. I think the league of the juniors should be that direction, teaching the kid, and then they try to bring them to stay in the school, everything like this. They really improve the way to give an opportunity for the kids to performing better at school with kind of scholarship they gave away after they finish their career in the junior. On the flip side, like I said, 16 years old with 20 years old does not make sense to me. I understand it's a part of the game, but I think that will. We are in 2023 at the end of the day. I think the league, everything is getting that direction. You can see the NHL. William just mentioned how many fight, have per year. Each team is really, you cannot compare anymore. It's like 90% less what it was before in the past. So I think the QM, when you become the first team, the league to do this, would create some kind of animosity, some kind of reaction from the fans, hockey fans around the world. But maybe this is the beginning of maybe the next couple more team, a league, are going to do the same way, what they really believe. The second thing Sean talked about in USA, you play, with the shell or the cage at 16 to 18 years old. Then at 19, you get your half visor and 20 years old. That's something maybe they have to consider at some point. But again, I feel like this is the right things to do, in my opinion. But time will tell us if it's the right thing. Now the reaction of the players, right? Who's going to do it again, or how they going to use the hammer or the stick to go around a slash in the back, whatever it is. So we'll see what
Well,
happening. This is obviously
that's
this is
exactly it, Coach.
I'm sorry.
That's exactly it.
That's
It's
what we're,
you've created a situation, as Randy was alluding to earlier, where you're going to see a whole bunch of stick work now happening. You've made the job for referees exponentially more
impossible.
difficult now, because it's
Impossible.
very difficult to monitor, and
Yeah.
you're gonna get all sorts of people complaining that the refereeing is crappy. But I do not blame them, because this now brings to the forefront a whole different issue that could turn out to be just as bad, if not worse, in my eyes.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's
if go ahead, Randy.
no. I was just going to say that was the concern of the WHL referee that asked that answered to me when I was talking to him about the fighting. And it's like Enortap was the person I interviewed because he said the exact same thing that Enortap quoted. He says the sticking violations are going to go up 50 to 60% now because players are going to react that way towards it, and
Yeah,
that was his concern.
but I feel like if they apply the rule, right? If you see slashing left and right, is a 2 minute or is a 5 minute or a game misconduct or or penalty match, you're going to apply that. That's a part of the game where the NHL are really tough on the every stick on the stick about the glove, everything like that. You can see called all the time. So again, like I said, every time it's new, a lot of reaction. You're going to see what happening. It's going to have a rule like in our top set, someone going to hit someone with a stick, and then people see that what happening. But at the end of the day, I prefer to have
Well,
one
some
kid did that compared like 16 or 25 kid get beat by 20 years old versus a 17, 16 years old on the ice. I don't think so. That's appropriate
but
for my opinion at this moment now on this live. Anyhow, we have few people knock the door, ladies and gentlemen. Kenneth, Ken Gillen is in the house, directly from Thailand. Welcome back, Kenneth. Roy, if they been find a watcher for a market increasing sick word, what a game exponent you don't believe. Roy said that, and other comments like at least time won't be wise having watched a fight run about this well progress and find alternative. If I'm 16 years old and the queue, I'm happy I don't get my head bashed by 20 years old. The fighter would be always a fighter. About this one, slam fight the channel. Just like the queue ban battle. About this one, Gary Randy, Roblox, Emric is in the house. Thanks so much for all the likes about this. Zev Lakav is in the house. Welcome back. And then we try to get pick up at what do you expect when you have a woman and the help of the Ministry of the Sport for the club of Sun. Fight can never been banned. There are no fight in baseball or basketball, so I see more. Mr. Willie S. Snyder is in the house. I can be messing with my new friend was disqualified for pushing back on the kid who was pursuing the Goaltender who was in the puck. And her husband is an ex-football player in CFL. The person said the next move, the very hit the head automatic game suspension. But this, we have a friend Dan Asham is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This one, GP consider a great comments in the chat. Look, you'll see the fallout from that and a few years, William, about this. Should be a fight game and a little. RG, welcome back again. Try to pick up everything there will be always fight in hockey. Trust me, is a sport that is the well you very on about the club. Yep, sorry about this small cup. A real player will join the queue. Now about this one. Find the honors, not the players. She said it was. But if it's not the U.S. league as no fighting is just a Canada thing, is that what you said? Because you cannot sit is a bad leave from Sean about this. And Rabinov knocked the door, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Okay, that's the play. Larry Lavallee. Try to pick up, guys. Everything said something. Mr. Sharks in the house tonight. Welcome back, Sharks. Thanks to be with our Canadian show. And a friend, my ladies and gentlemen, from Sweden, Seth Manberg. He's in the house tonight. Welcome back, Seth. Thanks for being part of the show
Hey,
tonight.
Steph.
What do you think happening, guys?
Seth.
About this one over there. I want to mention a couple of NHL news, guys, before we move on. We have the Boston Bruins after the departure of the captain Patrice Bergeron. Now we have the departure of another great hockey players, David Krejci, with the Boston Bruins, play over a little bit over 1,000 games with 555 assists, 231 goals for a total of 786 points. For me, David Krejci, he was underrated player. In my opinion, I think he deserves more credit for the success of the Boston Bruins behind Marchand, behind Patrice Bergeron, David Pastrnak, and before that, other players. I think David Krejci, he really one of the best for me center. Play the role as a second center at any team play in NHL, in my opinion, for me, Krejci. So I would like to hear from you, Mr. Randy, what you think about the career of David Krejci, announced his retirement after 15 years in NHL.
You know who led the NHL? Who's got the most NHL points in the last little while? And that's Krejci. He's tied with Bergeron. They both had the same amount of points in the playoffs. The guy was he was Mr. Consistent. One of the best players under pressure I knew. Absolutely one of the best character players I knew also. Terrific player. To me, he should be in the Bruins Hockey Hall of Fame at least. I 100% agree with everything you said, Coach.
Yep. And out that.
Yeah, definitely a great hockey player. I mean, if it wasn't for the amount of games that he's missed over the years, I think his numbers would have been probably closer to Hockey Hall of Fame numbers. But still, very talented. One of the best passers I've seen in a long time, and quite the teammate. Apparently, like he got along with everybody. Never really stirred the pot when it came to any kind of situation, and you could tell he had a true love for the game. And I wish him well in his retirement, because this is going to put Boston that much further behind the eight ball now.
Yeah, definitely that will help. It's a big hole, number one. Like, imagine, it's just right now, but imagine, like, Montreal without Suzuki and Doc right now. Like,
Right.
think about that way, right? And I think it's really the situation with the Boston Bruins. That would bring me, guys, to bring you to that subject after we move on with the Montreal Canadiens. What's next now? Boston Bruins, what they are going to do? Do you think they're going to move or not before the beginning of the season? Do you think they will fill up the spot by the people from the intern? I'm talking about Charlie Coy, Pavel Zacha, two of them. Or do you feel it that maybe you feel that they maybe go around for Mark Sheffley, or they maybe go around to Elias Lindholm for the Calgary Flames, two center or right now on the trade bait in NHL? Or do you feel like, you know what? We're going to, Luciano said that maybe they will wait 1 year to go through that transition for this year. And then, because 2024, guys, 2025, the UFA is excellent. Like the last two seasons, guys, we don't have a lot of big name as UFA. This year, we don't have a lot. If you think about this, Tyler Pertuzzi, it's not like the great. Next year, we have Matthews, Stamkos, Reinhardt, Guenzel, Nylander. We have many other players are going to be on the UFA this for the 2024. Do you feel that way? I just opened the door. I'm just thinking that direction right now. And when more I talk to you, I said maybe they can go that direction too. But what do you feel about this and after about the Boston Bruins? Do you feel they're going to move or not before the upcoming season?
Well, when you look at their lineup, Coach, right now, I mean, I believe probably Zacha becomes your number one center, then Charlie Coyle. They're going to hope, obviously, Morgan Geekie can fill in the spot on third line. And probably maybe Jesper Boquist as the fourth line centerman. So you can see right there that's not a very strong team up the middle. I think that they'll make some kind of move to try to get at least a second line or third line centerman. It's going to be hard at this stage to get a first liner without giving up something huge. So I don't see that happening because of the reasons that you mentioned earlier. But they're going to have to address it, especially if they have aspirations of trying to make the playoffs. Because as it is right now, I question whether they'll make it or not.
I question that too. Coach, you forgot a name that's available, and that's the name out of Washington. Knutsev.
Yeah.
It's available.
Who's that?
How do you pronounce his name?
What about? I'm sorry, the people talk about Bertuzzi. Any reason why they don't keep Bertuzzi? Why they not offer him like a 1-year contract that Toronto did?
I think that was more oriented. Yeah, exactly. I think it was more oriented towards not exactly knowing how much the salary cap would go up next year. And as you said,
Yep.
there's going to be more options available next year when it goes up. My reaction is going to go about 4 million. 4 million, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, there's no secret that he signed with Toronto for 1 year. I think Bertuzzi would have loved to have stayed in Boston, but why not take the 1 year, go to Toronto, get to play with Matthews and Nylander or Tavares or Marner, build up your stats and build up your value at the same time. I think it was a brilliant move by Bertuzzi.
In Enortap, he could score 35 to 40 goals.
Without a doubt.
With Matthews, he could score 30 to 35 goals. How much money is he going to get next year?
And that's the thing. That's the stroke of genius right there, I think. He did the right thing for a year.
That's the
It was had no choice. He doesn't want to. He could not play in Canada for the vaccine.
Yeah, COVID? That's right. Yeah, during the COVID time, he wasn't able to cross the border because of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that one over there for sure. I like comment in the chat, guys. I don't know. We have new people pop up. Don't forget to click on the like. We have Dan Ogilvy back in the house. Welcome back. Thanks to be with us tonight. And Rabinov knocked the door. Welcome, everybody. Bruins will go from 135 to how many points? That's a good question about this. Randy, after you guess, how many points do you think they're going to get?
92.
Enortap?
Maybe a little bit higher. Maybe around 95. I think they'll be one of the bubble teams.
Yeah, one of the bubble teams.
Yeah. What you say about crushing guys that play more without having to fight? Even Logan, not this fighting return. You make a hit, they're getting old quick. Sean talk about sometimes you don't have to fight, but hit better. Like Romanov, it's better way to play hockey now on that one over there. About that, where do you see Patty Kane at the trade deadline? I have no clue. What do you feel like? Patrick Kane, the problem with Patrick Kane, we don't know yet when it will be, how he going to recover, how he going to be healthy at the beginning of this. It's not going to be ready at the beginning of the season, but during the season, something, they play better what the expectation was, or a team was expected to be good, they are not good. One or two teams you feel like they could get Patrick Kane at some point on the year. Any team you came on your mind about this, Randy?
Rangers. New York Rangers.
That's a good one. It would have to definitely be a team that's ready to, to make a mark in the playoffs and try to go for the cup. But I don't know. We saw that last year. It didn't work well with the Rangers, right?
No,
I know he had some injuries, but I just don't think Kane is what he. I mean, his best days are behind him. I think that's not to say he's a bad player. I think he can still help many teams, but it's going to be difficult. Like depending on how much he's asking for, and if he's willing to go for a small amount, then I can see a lot of teams jumping at it. But if he's demanding big bucks, he might not. And a lot of speculation has been Buffalo, right? I mean, going back
Yeah, it
home,
was the
and
team I was talking about. It was
yeah,
Buffalo for me. Is a team like in the mix right now. They will be there or not there. They're missing Jack Quinn. I know LDP talk about possible. Peter Carr is going to step up in the lineup, everything like that. But I feel like possible a Buffalo team could looking to get a Patrick Kane somehow, somewhere. A team already there, or maybe to try. Now he have a choice. So you know what? I don't want to go with the middle team or maybe make the playoff, but or maybe make the playoff, but not a look around. Maybe looking for top 5, 6 team in the NHL, what they expect to be a part of the Stanley Cup final. So that'll be the time we tell us. And it's really difficult at this moment also without knowing his recovery of his surgery. What happening about that? A lot of comments in the chat.
and
By the way, welcome Franco
going back
Iacono.
to Chicago would not be a bad idea as well.
Yeah,
Especially working with Bedard and sort of
having him
mentoring him.
with Bernard and Hall.
Yeah.
Franco Iacono is in the house. He said, "Look, I don't know. It's only me, but the season, off season is too long. We should start to play hockey right now." He said that's I don't know what's going on, but that's happening, Franco. When your team is got to never make the playoff, it's a long season, off season. About this one over there. For the lead, we should become new head coach by Christmas. From Luciano about this one over there. William McClary go with Boston 95 to 100 point. Honestly, would be very close. Standing Montreal, Boston, I thought would be very close in the standing. I feel like Boston is going to get 93 points, Mr. Enortap. Do you see him sign with the Canada Avalanche? Willie Snyder talk about Patrick Kane.
No, I don't see that.
No, I don't see it. But you know what? He's right for one thing. It's a good fit. If he doesn't want much money, he could help with. He could be that that extra umph for Colorado going down the stretch. But I don't see it.
Yeah, a lot of great things. Guys, any question about hockey that it's time to ask because Randy and Enortap with me tonight on this discussion. Not much going on with the with the Montreal Canadiens. Everybody's on the hold. Honestly, we're just waiting for Ken Hughes announce something about Jeff Petrie and Casey DeSmith or Jake Allen. Someone talk about the fact like Montreal is going to trade one of them. It looked like he's waiting for Ken Hughes get the best of the value and return for Jake Allen or Casey DeSmith. So my question for people in the chat and Mr. Enortap and Randy, if the Montreal trade one goaltender, which one you expect they're going to be trade? If it's a you player, the goaltender you're going to select, which destination you expect that player could be, that goalie would be traded to that team? Let's start with Mr. Enortap on that one.
Well, I've been hearing not just Allen and DeSmith, but I've been hearing even Monty is in the equation if they get the right kind of return for him. I'm not so certain I would do that personally, but I mean, you do have to kick the tires around and see what kind of offers come back your direction. Montreal's getting to a point now, Coach, where it's a very delicate line because yes, it's good to always acquire
Super Chat.
River, jump, super jump!
I can't do that.
Super chat, Mr. Jose Duarte. Thank you so much, Mr. Jose. Super chat on fire tonight, Jose. about this. Very kind of you to do that to the Hockey Nation Live show. Thanks so much for that super chat. Very kind of you. Sorry, Mr. Enortap. Not happened a lot the last couple of nights, so we have to celebrate when it's the right time. So we can finish your conversation, Mr. Enortap.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying, but it's okay.
You're talking about Monty.
I
Monty,
don't see that.
You would consider.
Yeah, I mean, the delicate situation that Montreal finds himself in is that, yes, it's always a good idea to try to acquire picks, but they're getting at a point now where they've filled their cupboard up with some pretty good prospects.
Yep.
You have to start thinking a little bit more how to aggressively. I know they still have about 2 or 3 contracts that they need to clear up on the team, no doubt about it. But they have to start thinking about how to accelerate the process at this stage, especially if they have a half decent season this year and they show improvement yet again from the previous year. It's a point where you want to tackle the free agency, the free agents that come up in 2025. You're going to have money on your salary cap to address that as well with. There's trades that you can make. You can package some of your picks or prospects together. So it'll be interesting what direction they'll go with this, whether they're happy with getting a pick, maybe a prospect. I would suspect a prospect that's ready to play. Somebody, along the lines of, like Heineman's ready to tackle the next stage and join the team, I think. So if they can pick up a player like that, and there's been talk of a couple players in Edmonton that might come over. Who else did I hear? I heard Edmonton. I heard possibly.
You're talking about Petrie right now?
No, I'm talking about even a goalie. There was conversation about that as well. Yeah.
Why they would add Jake Allen this Smith when they have already Campbell as Stuart Skinner?
Oh, I know. It took me aside as well because Skinner's should be their future.
Campbell, I don't think so. Edmonton is really
they have that confidence.
Yeah, Jeff Petrie is really where Edmonton is named, but Petrie is why they don't want to move in Canada. I would be shocked if he returned there. We know Petrie came for the Edmonton Oilers to the Montreal Canadiens. If you remember that trade long time, like 9 years ago. So I believe Petrie is between Detroit and the Dallas Star. It could be in Chicago and make a trade way with Dallas and Chicago and Montreal Canadiens a couple of days ago. That would be my expectation for Petrie. I'm shocked they trade Jake Allen over Casey DeSmith, and I see DeSmith right now with the New Jersey Devils or the Tampa Bay Lightning, on my opinion, right now. So I don't know if anything you want to add, Randy or Enortap.
I think you would. Go ahead.
No, it's just.
I think you can add
New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey's a good one. Yeah. But a team I think really could use a goalie is LA. I don't know if LA's been interested, but I think LA, you could probably get a Turcotte plus out of LA farm coach. I really do. I think LA's goaltending is weak, and it's really weak. They don't have much of a backup goalie or a first-string goalie. I haven't heard Kings involved in Enortap, but I think the Kings would be a good fit for him. I think LA could use the number one goalie.
You talk about this, Randy. I don't know you're not going to be agree with me, but sometimes some team they know right now where they add the Kings, right? And if I'm right now Rod Blake, I say, with the team we get, we should make the playoff, right? We will be, and maybe not finish first. We're going to make the playoff. Now, what's going to be the time at the trade deadline? Can we hang in there with Copley and Talbot? And then the time of the trade deadline, now maybe Alebak will be available or specific goaltender or be more open up to a bigger trade. And now they can smash the hammer right there to get that piece of the puzzle they need to go deep in the playoff, or they maybe decide, you know what, look what Copley bring to us and what we get with Talbot. We feel comfortable. They turn around to get another forward, a defenseman for that. So this is another perspective I'm thinking. I don't know whether you agree or not, Enortap and Randy, about what I'm just said about the Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. I mean, another option would even be Tampa Bay. I know they don't have much cap space, but if you retained a little bit, or maybe you took back another contract, they do need a backup in Tampa Bay. So there's another possibility.
Possibility.
I don't know. There's a few options. I'm sure Hughes has been working the phones.
Yeah, absolutely about this. What effect, my Mr. Enortap? Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Ryan Kirk is in the house tonight, Mr. Enortap. Ryan Kirk, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God! He is in the house tonight. Ryan was a big fan of the warm-up show, Mr. Enortap.
Yes, he was.
So welcome back, Ryan. Thanks to be a part of the show. Thank you for
Ryan,
click on the like if you don't mind. That'd be great. John Turgeon is in the house, Mr. Enortap, for the first time. I really like we said, Randy, and maybe you can open up about that subject. John said, "What do you think? What do you all think about trading for Carter Hart? Saying it's been on the block most likely. It's a name came silent." After Mitch Cobb and the Flyers with a couple of trades, everything like that, we know at some point he was really before the draft, really on the trade bait. Many times at the beginning when Daniel Briere got the job, it was one of the, with Konechny could be maybe trade at some point, never happened. Great question for John. And then secondly, we want to welcome John for the first time in the chat, the Hockey Nation. Thanks, you guys. Don't forget to click on the like. That'd be awesome. Any question you have, guys, don't hesitate. Randy, what do you hear from around your area? What about Carter Hart situation for the Flyers?
The first thing I heard, and my source contacted me right away because he knew I'd contact him, because he's very close connected to the Oilers. The Oilers asked about him, but the problem with the Oilers is they couldn't afford to take him on. They would have wanted to give up Enortap's favorite goalie and your favorite goalie in Campbell, and LA said no. I mean, Flyers said no. We're not taking Campbell back. But yes, Edmonton really wanted him, and I can confirm that. But again, a lot of teams wanted him. But again, it's Flyers wanted an arm and a leg coach.
Yeah,
and they're expensive. They want him.
That's something possible the King could look about this. A team like they are good about this. And I know they are in the same division, but the Flyers, the New Jersey Devils, could be a good spot for the Devils at some point. I don't think so. Vizenek or Vinecek is really the right answer for goaltender at long term with the Devils. So a player like Carter Hart could be a right direction for the Devils. They have everything in their hand to trade for Carter Hart for sure. And at top, we have a question for you. I tried to flip up the question, guys, so we don't want to bring both of you to give us your comments.
Add one more thing, Coach, is the fact that I think a lot of teams in the league at the time that they were made aware of the fact that Hart was available were obviously asking questions, but they really pumped the brakes at the point of that whole debacle around the junior Canadian hockey team, because, as you know, he was part of that, and they wanted to see before they committed to anything when the report would come out first to sort of exonerate maybe certain players or see that at least it wasn't going to be a move that a team would regret down the road. And we still haven't heard a final report from that. I've heard that it's imminent, but I think until we get more confirmation from that, and I don't think we're going to hear too much about Hart moving.
Will be interesting to follow for sure about that one over there. Mr. Franco Iacono have a great question for Mr. Enortap. How they are building a team to make it to the playoff or to win the Stanley Cup in 2025?
Well, that's a good one.
Well, I would love to see them win in 2025, but I think it's a bit premature. And I think you can't separate those two thoughts. I mean, obviously, you have to make the playoffs in order to get into the conversation of making or winning the Stanley Cup. As you know, everybody always says it's about getting in, and then anything can happen. We saw it this year with Florida. They came out of nowhere and went to the finals. We saw it, a while back with Montreal, went to the finals as well, just by barely squeaking in. LA 1 year finished in the last playoff spot and did win the cup. So there's a lot of precedents there that once you get in and you get hot and you have the right goalie that can steal a game or two in each series, that anything is possible. But I think 2025 might be a little bit premature.
Yeah, I was just finished. Go ahead.
No, I just said I experienced that in what a goalie can do. Look what Kipper did to us in 2004.
To answer to Franco, we said 2025, this is the year I believe Montreal are going to try to knock the door for the playoff. I really believe it will be a team going to be fight to be a part of the playoff. 2026 is really where the year where Montreal will be in the playoff, and now they try to go from 16 to finish at the top 10 in NHL. 2027, 2028, 2029, the other 3 years where I believe Montreal could become a team at the top 8 in NHL. Everything could happen after that. But this is really my vision about the Montreal Canadiens. Just want to finishing the question from Mr. Franco to Enortap about this one over there. Try to pick up everything. Don't forget, get to go night. Your track should be fully this year. Talking John bring another point of view about this, Mr. I don't know, Randy, you followed that situation with Fedorov, the goaltender, about his contract. Definitely, I think it came from the IIHF. Alou the Flyers contract versus the contract from the CSKA for the KHL. So I don't know if you want to take 1 minute to explain what the situation and what is the result of this situation with Fedorov, the goaltender prospect for the Flyers.
I talked to my very, very good source on this. In fact, he tweeted about it on Twitter today. He said, yes, he's legally Philadelphia Flyers property, but that does not mean he's going to be able to get out of Russia. The Russia paperwork of trying to get somebody out of there, it's a total nightmare. It's no fun, and it's a total nightmare. Legally, right now, my understanding is that he is a Philadelphia Flyer. That is my understanding. And that's what a lot of people's understanding is, but most people do not think he will be out of Philly before this season. That's my understanding, Coach.
Mr. Enortap, want to add something?
No, I was just going to ask Randy, because I know you've been in touch quite a bit with the Russian situation as well, and there's a number of players, and it looks like each player is handled on an individual basis, and I don't know if this is going to be. I see the Russians are going to probably milk this from the NHL and from specifically the teams that they're involved with. They're going to, it's, what do you call it? A crisis that doesn't go to waste in their eyes. And if the teams over there can get extra money in order to facilitate a move, it's going to happen. But I'm sure you know more than I do on that front.
I only know about this situation because it's a Philadelphia Flyers situation. I'm not that connected with the Russians, but I am connected very well with a beat reporter out of Philly, a couple of them. For some reason, Philly media is the ones who are most connected with me in the media. And they've, I don't know what it is, but Philly media seems to like me. But yeah, it's he's legally a Flyer. That's as much as we know, and that's as much as Philly Flyers are letting out. That he is legally a Flyer. We just don't know whether they can get the paperwork worked out.
But the key behind
It's so
that is like a player KHL cannot have a contract with the NHL. So a player cannot have two contract live uh, as a player. So what happening before happening to him last year, he got a contract with the Flyers, and then he went to the Army service, whatever they hire him in the wood, whatever it is with Danny, and then Danny feed him with shrimp for a couple of months, and then then after that he came back, and now he want to play with the CSKA, and now he want to have a contract. But the fact, like, he have already control the Flyers, now you have to go to IIFHF, and they decide to go with the Flyers. He was already on the rate that contract before they get the. So the KHL is really upset about this, and then that will create some kind of, kind of drama over there at this moment about this. We know the IIHF and the Russia hockey federation over there are not very good term because they don't want to allow them to play any tournament right now. So at the end of the day, this is another subject. We can go a little bit more deeper about that one for sure. When would be the right time. A great point about this from Ghislain, guys. 2025 is on top. The last year of the contract of Price and Gallagher. So that's already a good point to mention that. And when we talk about the Montreal, going to have more flexibility the next 2-3 years to have more money about that. Looks at hope they stay there and take a Pittsburgh with them about this one. How long Montreal don't get another bad contract? A great point. GP, another great comments. How do you think the new hook work out this year, coach? In Enortap, what do you think about Alex Newhook and Enortap?
Well, as long as we sort of tame our expectations, I think it'll work out well. I mean, he brings a lot of speed to the game. He's got a very high hockey IQ as well. So I think it bodes well for the team, and I think he'll complement whatever line he plays on. I anticipate they might start him on the second line, but I mean, time will tell. I think a lot will depend on the situation in terms of the excess forwards that we have. Now, we were able to get rid of Pitlick and Hoffman, and that made a little bit of room. But question is, are we going to bring in a couple of the prospects up, and how does that affect the lines a little bit going forward? So, but to answer the question, I think it'll work out. He's very young still. And sometimes that's the biggest peril teams have, is they don't have the patience to see these kids develop. And think about it, we were expecting miracles out of Slafkovsky last year. I mean, the kid's 18 years old. Let's cut him, a break here and see if, let's develop him properly. Let's not rush him. Like I've heard people say, why not start him on the first line? I say, why put that pressure on him? Like, start him lower and let him build his confidence. Oh. And if it's not working out, send him down, get that confidence back. We saw with Barron last year. He went down. His confidence was built up. He came back. He did a half-decent job when he came back. And he
absolutely about that.
Young one.
Talking about because he got really great comments about Yaroslav Alak on the Czech. Coach, he understand like a 26 language, so I go check all the newspaper around the world, and I heard like Alex said really good comments about Sarkozy. In fact, like, you have a great shot, the kid's going to be great, and then shot just take time. Exactly the same word you said in that. Patient have to be with Sarkozy, but he said, look, for what we saw last year, he's going to be stronger. And he's going to be better on many other areas of the game. But from what he saw last year on the ice from Alak, he really believed at one point Sarkozy will be a good hockey player in NHL. Great to hear that from Alak. He's still looking for a contract. If ever you're looking for a goalie, Randy, for your men highs, men team in Alberta, maybe you can contact Mr. Yaroslav Alak. Great point for John, and I will
Well, thank
bring
you.
this to for Randy about this. He said, "Look, we are not going anywhere without a goalie. Number one, most teams that win have an elite center. We have Suzuki, one I love, but he's not an elite player. He's just really good. What do you think about this? How do you feel about what do you think about his statement? Maybe not categorized only with the Montreal Canadiens, but at that situation is about Suzuki. Do you feel Montreal could win with Suzuki as a center number one or not?
I want to ask you guys a question. You say that Boston and Bergeron and Krejci were either one of those two an elite center. Were they? I
And
think
after,
they were very good centers. They weren't. They won a cup. So my question to you: yes, Montreal can. Montreal, you can win with three good centers. You don't need a number one elite center to win in this league. Ask Edmonton Oilers.
it's
That's a
funny you
low
talk
blow.
about this because all the time you talk that way, I was thinking always that because it's a great question for John, first of all. Secondly, we said,
Yeah.
you think about Colorado McKinnon, right? You talk Vegas, Jack Eichel.
Huh?
And then you said, wait a minute, let's go with Tampa Bay. Brendan Point. Do you
Yeah.
really consider him like a super elite player,
51 goals says he is.
right? But when he won the Stanley Cup, he was not the best center. I know they have Stankos over there, but
Nope.
if you surround yourself with a great goaltender, number one, and then you add a winger beside Caulfield, another 40, 50 goal scorer right there, Suzuki can bring you to, I believe, at some point, Suzuki is going to get the 85 point and maybe 90 point in NHL. I think if you bring him two solid players beside him, play 80 games, 75 games, Suzuki can become the guy that can score 30, 35 goals, and then he can have a 50 assists. In my opinion, I see that from him. You can see increasing his level of hockey. I don't know what you feel about this, Mr. Enortap.
Well, I agree with Randy in the sense that I think if you have three solid centermen down the middle, I mean, that bodes more than having one elite centerman only. Um, it seems to be that now the NHL and the playoffs especially, it's all about depth, right? Yes, you have to have that
Yeah.
solid goaltender, but he doesn't necessarily have to be an elite goaltender, as we've been finding out the last couple of years. Um, it just has to be a goalie that's good, very good maybe, and gets hot at the right time. I think that's the key. But going back to Suzuki, coach, I've always maintained I love Suzuki very much. I think he has a lot of potential, and maybe he'll prove me wrong. But I don't think he's a number one center. I think he's probably one of the best second line centermen in the entire league.
I agree.
And I still think there's an area of growth there for Montreal. And the problem is they're hard to find, right? Like it's they don't grow on trees. These kind of centermen. That's why guys like, and again, he's not elite, but he has the potential to be elite. Pierre-Luc Dubois commands so much attention and so much money, and people are looking at him because not only can he do things, but he can also play a very strong defensive game as well. And he brings the physicality to the game. And I mean, that's just one player, but you're right. I
No,
think I would prioritize depth over having one elite centerman.
no, I'm gonna get myself in trouble with the Hab fans because I already know I'm gonna get have things thrown at me. But I think Newhook has as much potential of being a number one center than Suzuki is, because I love Newhook's. I love the way he was brought up. I love his work ethic, and he's probably going to be your best defensive center that you have on your team right now. And I know that's going to get me in trouble, but coach, I truly think Newhook has the potential of being your number one center in 2 or 3 years.
My point behind that, I'm not saying he's going to be a super elite player. Because if you think about all center Basel, Langholm. All right.
Yeah.
If you look about each team, you're going to see maybe 15 super elite center. The
Exactly.
rest are good hockey player where they're
Yeah.
going to get 80 point, 85 point. I feel me, it will be a player with 8 over 80, 85 point. If you can add another doc at 60, 70 point, you can add a scorer 40, 50 goal on the top line with the Montreal Canadiens. That's satisfied that you're top. After that, a winning Stanley Cup is all about the third line and fourth line. You bottom of the six are really important key major. Without that, you can sacrifice that player because it's not coming through everywhere like to get a super elite like better. But if you can have a goaltender, really a super elite goaltender, and top 10 in NHL, like Chesterkin, a Sorokin, a player like him, I think Montreal with Suzuki could be feel okay if they add two great winger beside him, and then you have a solid backup, the center number 2, like Kirby Doc behind example can get that. I feel like Montreal plus the winger beside. I think they could sacrifice the super elite center they cannot find anywhere and to get that about that. Because if you think about this, if they drop a super elite player like McKinnon with Montreal, you drop Suzuki, now you have Kirby Doc number 3. I think it will be unbalanced for the Montreal Canadiens. So for me, it would be better to keep Suzuki, Doc, and then to get another one back example, and then you get more from your top 6 winger to add those 2 scorers, a 40 goal the Montreal need at some point to sacrifice what we don't get from Nick Suzuki about that. So great subject, guys. We're going to move on because already at 10:07. Usually we try to hit at 10 o'clock about this one over there. We have a couple of questions, guys, from Willie Snyder. And then I'm going to be back to you, Willie Snyder, because the subject of the night, guys, was to create a line under $45 million. This was the subject of the night. Is a quick equation going to do. What I did, guys, I asked Randy and I asked Enortap to send me the line of the $45 million. I think it will be a little bit difficult. I think we should remove maybe some players, maybe from Edmonton Oilers, and then go from other line because at the end of the day, it was easy with them. But what happening, guys, by the way, I got a line from Sean McIntyre. I'm going to add that inside the equation with us tonight. So what I did, guys, I go with... I tried to get Mr. Enortap, that line over there. I don't know if I get that one over there. I think it is Mr. Enortap, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So Enortap guy got the goaltender Jake Ottinger. He got Moritz Zader, Kel McCarr, Mika Retanen, Connor McDavid, and Leon Tresado. And I feel we should remove both Edmonton Oilers. But at the end of the day, this is the line for that part. It go about $44 million, $0.1 million, $0.1 for his line about this. From this side, we got Mr. Completely different from me and Enortap. It was Randy. Randy go with Ulmark, Josh Morrissey, Brendan Montour, David Pasnak, Connor McDavid, and then he go with Jared McCann, 40 goal last season. Pasnak, we know he hit another great year. Montour played his best year in the NHL with Morrissey, over 70 points for the Winnipeg Jet, and Ulmark was the winner of the Vezina Trophy on that one over there. So this is what we got there on that line. If you want to get your line in the chat, guys, send it to us. We're going to share it with you the next couple of minutes. And then we have from Sean, he sent this one there. Sorokin, he went to the Montreal Canadiens for the first year. David Rebacker, Lane Hudson, Cole Caulfield, and then he got Tresalo and McDavid. So honestly, McDavid, Tresalo is about to $20 million. Caulfield about 28, 29 million. Sorokin at $8 million now at 36, and you get under $45 million on that one. Pretty good about this one. And then for me, coach, but you know, he said don't copy me. I did not copy him. But I won with Chesterkin for the goaltender. I won with Owen Power for the future with my defenseman. I won with McCarr, Robinson over Rantanen, Mr. Enortap, McDavid, Tresado. It was my line about that one over there. I went to $44.45 million, Mr. Tap, and when you calculate it, compared to you, I think I went with Shesterkin versus Goaltender. Robinson, Rantanen is pretty much already have a better year, and then McCall. Power for me, I feel like he's going to be better at some point versus Maurice Zader, but I'll be about this. We have a couple of people in the chat talk about the cap. De La Fontaine, Fable, something again, the old people, Luciano. Good lineup, GP said. My line used to play for less than 50,000 each on the package carrot. About that one over there. A lot of people in the chat talking about the line. Luciano going over $52 million. Don't forget, got to click on the like. Look at first go with Trottier, Bossy, Gishun, Padvin, Kelly, Padvin, Morrow, and Billy Smith, best under $45 million for Luc Lafortune. About that one there. It was an exercise, guy. We should maybe do it again when we don't have Tressardle and McDavid. I think it will be a little bit more easy about this. If I ask you, Mr. Enortap, you remove McDavid, which center you reach? Which one you put there?
It's not possible.
I mean, I'd have to look at their salaries to make it compatible with the $45 million. But
you better say Matthews. Matthews.
No, I will not say Matthews. I'll leave that for you, Randy.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I like. There's a few, but again, I'd have to see what they're making.
For the next 5 years, by the way, Mr. Enortap.
I mean, you got Hughes, you got in Buffalo as well.
Thompson.
Thompson. That I would consider. Yeah, I would consider that as well. McKinnon, of course, would be high up on my list. Those are just a few, but again, you have to make it fit within that $45 million. I liked my team only from the sense that I think I had some elite players. I thought if you looked at guys like all three of my forwards, they can all play at the center position if they had to. I mean, more so Draisaitl than Rantanen. They're all big. My smallest player is Makar at 5'11". Ottinger, I think, is pretty much at the same level as the other two goalies that are listed there as well, and he's shown it in the past. And Seider, I think he's 6'5", a big bruising defenseman, plays well defensively, can chip in offensively, has had to. I mean, I know this year we saw a little bit of recession, but that's more so a reflection of who he played with, which was Sherratt, than anything else. I think towards the end of the year, he picked it up a bit.
Now, Coach, I'm going to defend my Montour choice here. The guy makes only $3.5 million. He was third in the NHL among defensemen. The guy nobody gives him enough credit. To me, he's an elite defenseman, and he deserves to be in this conversation. Yeah, and the reason why I picked him and Morrissey is because they both had 72 and 72, 76 and 72 points. Underwhelming, underrated defenseman. And that's the reason why I picked those two. But I'm especially determined that Montour should be there in any list because he deserves to be there. Without him, Florida doesn't get to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, would be interesting. It'd be another exercise we can do sometime, like the best line per country, right? The best line for, or you can go with the best line for the country on the pass or in active, whatever. You can go all the way different ways about this. And at the end of the day, if you look about the lineup right there, no one have a very bad lineup. right? It's just, how you feel about that. You have to respect the $45 million. Of course, with McDavid, it's easier with Tressler, but remove those two players. After that, the choice getting very interesting. Are you going to win McKinnon? Do you think McKinnon is going to be at 32 years old good enough to perform for the win the Stanley Cup? You prefer to go with Jack Hughes, example. He's 22, but he's getting better and better. Tage Thompson is going to be 28, 29, and maybe his best time of this for the next 5 years. So if that's the way I see that line for that. It's all depends on what kind of player you're looking for your best line for the next 5 years. So don't forget, guys, to click on the link. There'll be also a lot of great comment, guys, in the chat that continue to increasing the compare the players. We have a new people pop up before we move on, guys. We have GSM pop up with a line of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Famous goal horn knock the door. Thanks so much, guys. A lot of people in the chat. Ryan, welcome back, Ryan. Again, in the chat, Ron consists talking about it is just like more comments here. We're going to stay, guys, here for John Williams said Robinson disappear is on the playoff. The question was the next 5 years. Sean, you're absolutely right about this one over there. Willie Snyder asked this question, guys. Then I'm going to move on for the next things to do. I try to pick up everything up in the chat because now the chat is going very quick for this one. Willie Snyder asked a question about Enortap. Do you feel comfortable with your 10-point understanding? Or something like that.
10 points? I'm not sure. What does that mean?
Coach, you said it was a team effort to say yes, Suzuki could make us win a cup. I feel believe at that one over there. I think if you bring him with other players, I think it would be good. Let me check that one, Mr. Nata, because now I cannot find a question about Willie. Willie, where do you see Patrick? Now I got that one. Do you see same with the Avalanche? Randy, Calgary is 61 game outshot the opponent, 48 one goal again involved, and 24 over the 17 over the last. Thought on Calgary at the crossroad, especially the RFA for next season, Mr. from William McClary, Mr. Randy.
William, I knew you were going to ask this question, and that's why I put my email in there. The number one problem with Calgary that we did last year, we played, Coach, how to lose, how to win, not to lose is what I mean. We stopped playing. When we had the lead, we did not have enough confidence in our goaltending, so we thought we were getting this defensive shell, and we would start trying to play how not to lose. It got into the players' heads is, how are we going to blow this game? And the fans were joking. And late in the game, they said, okay, how is Calgary going to lose this game? And how are we going to lose this game in overtime? We have to start learning how to win. And if we can't figure out how to win, we're in trouble. Because these players were getting in their heads and they're blaming each other. There was no team game. And like I was answering this question. I think you were there in Enortap at a Hockey Buzzcast one. And they were talking about Calgary, about no leadership. We don't have a leader in that dressing room that knows how to win. And that's the problem. We did not have anyone that knew how to win. What was that?
Not anymore.
But not anymore. We took the guts out when we had to trade to Chuck. He was our one that knew how to win. Exactly. But we don't have a player like that right now. We don't have someone that knows how to win. And so everyone's looking for a leader to show them how to do it, and there was no leader there. So my basic question is we just played how to lose. How to win, how not to lose, I should say, in a nutshell. And when teams are playing,
it's not an easy transition.
No, it isn't. Exactly. And that's how Toronto plays.
I think, Randy, if you look at it, I mean, you can really bring it down to, and again, not to put the blame on one player, because it's not
Yeah.
about blaming anybody,
No.
but what was symptomatic of their lack of success. And it was, I think, um, Markstrom was defeating himself every single time he went on
Yeah.
the ice and played in net. Like he
Yeah.
was not confident. And you think about it, they only missed the playoffs by what, 2 points, if I'm not
2
mistaken,
points.
1 point. Yeah, that's all.
1 point.
It's one win. That's all it is.
But at the end of the day,
Enortap,
guys, at the end of the day,
yeah.
it was just one big problem. It was a miscommunication, a relationship between the coach and the players.
Coaching the players.
That's it.
And
But wait a minute. I agree with that, coach. The only
up to a certain point.
caveat I would throw in, yeah, the year before it was the same coach, same players,
Same
pretty
coach.
much.
The problem that we have here is Markstrom. His
Stood on his head.
contract was ruined in Edmonton. He has never recovered, coach, since that Edmonton series. He lost all of his confidence against the Oilers, and he's never, ever recovered.
But at the end of the day, guys, listen, you have your best player, Jonathan Huberdeau. You put him on the third line. And the TOI, Dylan Dubé, is more at Jonathan Huberdeau. Right there. Right there.
At this moment, he was. Yeah,
right there is the big problem behind the bench. The player hate the coach behind by his behavior and the way he treat the players around. So sometimes you have a bad output in the room. The bad output was not in the room. It was outside the room. It was behind the bench where it was not treated well. It don't take a lot. If you want to, how can you motivate the players? Want your head coach, hammer you every freaking night. He don't give rewards. He just privilege his own players, bottom six at the end of the day. It's not going to work. So the communication,
I
the
agree,
relationship
Coach.
play a key big role. Look what happened with John Cooper, example. He picked up all the ounce of each player to step up over there. For me, for Calgary Flames, it was really a bad relationship between the head coach and the players. Now, said they have the team to make the playoff. But I feel like with Rand, a new coach, or with Conroy, if all the players coming back and they play the level they should play, that team could be surprised more because everybody around here expect the Calgary not going to make the playoff. If they find a way to play as a team, and there are a couple of rookies going to have those kind of energy bring on the team, I think that could make a little bit of difference. I then said they're going to make the playoff. I just said I think overall there will be a better overall that team as a hockey player, and I don't see Huberdeau going to go back with 55 points. If he can add, imagine Huberdeau with 10 more goals and 20 more assists, 30 points. Someone somehow going to take advantage of that on his line, and that will mean Calgary to be a little bit better. If you have a player like Huberdeau step up, if Maxstrom can become what he's supposed to be, then, but forget, guys, somehow, some point, Dustin Wolf is going to steal the job at Maxstrom and to Vladar, and then Calgary maybe could become that thing we expect at the end of the season.
I agree with Dustin Wolf. We'll see how long it takes. Like I said, I know a lot of people blame Sutter, and I'll say this much. There's still a lot of responsibility is on these players in the room.
Yes.
Just because you can't get along with your coach, they still have the responsibility of not being crybabies and get over themselves. But you're exactly right, Coach. When players and coach don't get along, it's a lot easier to fire the coach and trade all the players.
Yeah.
We have a couple more questions, guys. We want to go through this. If you don't mind, that'd be great. Great question for you, Mr. Enortap. Is what goalie do you see having a bounce back next season from Ron?
Bounce back.
You know, you want to say soupy, Trap.
Well, I can't see him getting worse, but you know what? I would probably say Demko. in Vancouver.
That's
I
exactly
know
the name that
partly,
can pop up on my head.
I would say
mean, probably a lot of it was due to the injury more so than anything else this year. But nevertheless, I think he's kind of forgotten in the equation. And I think he's capable of bouncing back neatly. Having said that, I think also, I mean, Markstrom has the potential to bounce back a little bit, not to the same level as 2 years ago, but I think the medium is somewhere in between this past year and the year before for
yeah,
him. So that's another potential
I agree.
goalie.
I know Goalie, I would say to you, I understand with the team he was last year, but I think Gibson could be make a good
Yeah,
difference
yeah.
over there with Anam Doc for the upcoming season for that. And I think a goaltender where a very bad year, but it depends what he's going to get this year, is Muskligan with the Columbus Blue Jacket. Really bad year last season. So talk
Oh,
about bounce back. We don't talk about the best player goaltender. I think there are three goaltender right there to can become that one over there for sure. We know Sean talked about the ratio. We talked about this a bit earlier. Here we go, Mr. Enortap. I got it. Do you agree with Enortap that the AB could pick up 10 points in the standing at the end of the season?
is it addressed to me? Do you
Well,
agree
It
with
it
is.
was
Enortap?
everybody in the chat, but he expect to get 10 points. Are you agree, Randy, about that?
I do. I think Montreal's quite capable of getting 10 more points.
Yeah, it's
I
really
think they are.
quick. It's very 10 points, pretty great. If it's happening, Montreal will be really, good year overall. I would say 8 points with 10 is almost the same thing at the end, but 10 will be the max, I would say to you. I would be sure they go over 10 for that one. Sean McAndrew said that, Mr. Enortap, Doc could become number one, wait for 2 years.
Yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. He could very well be the number one center. He's got the skills. Obviously, face-offs have to improve. His percentage of face-off wins, of course, and he has to keep building what he built upon this year, and stay healthy. That's another key issue.
William said, I have more questions about Huberdeau than Sutter. Sorry, but I do. For William
I agree.
McClary about this.
I
I
agree.
agree.
100%.
We'll see what happening for the upcoming. We try to go back, guys, on the chat if you have missed something there. Because I pick up everything, guys, on the question. So I don't know what's going on in the chat about this. Frenchy Quiz coming very soon. Which team has better defense this year? She's not Brian's question right there. Which team have the better defense this season?
Who has a better defense this season coming up?
For me, I would say right away Buffalo Sabres.
I was going to say Buffalo, yeah. I think they did make some moves that made sense to me.
New Jersey Devil will be curious to see what will look used in the lineup now. I think that's another team. I think I would expect they have a better defenseman for that. Of course, Columbus Blue Jacket with Provorov and Zevonson. I think that's another team. I think they're increasing the level of defensemen. I just, we go try to get quicker about that one. That's the fact, we'll have a much better defense this year. So, Michigan will have a better year too. Great point about that, Andy, for sure. I tried to pick up everything on the chat. Just enjoy the land and the Stampede. Kadri is a good center, but he was never number one center. I tried to pick it up. Contra with Gandhi Leland from the channel.
Right about that, by the way.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say he's right about Kadri. Dead on. Perfect statement about Kadri.
Yeah.
A number two center is what he is.
John talk about Sutter. Just pick up, guys, what have gone on in the chat. So pick up. I'm sure we got another part of Calgary. Artson Monahan for that one there. I mean, the Flames can be. A lot of people talk about the Flames. A great conversation, guys, in the chat. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'd be awesome. If we missed your question, we apologize for that one. I think we did pretty good overall. on this one over there. We like to finish the show, guys. We couple the game at the end. We cross the 10:30. That'll be great. We'll be back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time for another NHL around. Michael Delano have to reconfirm, but I think he will be with me tomorrow night. We'll talk about the Detroit Red Wing, the Atlantic Division. I just want to share it with you. We have no time tonight, but the next couple of days, guys, we're going to go one by one. On that one example, we're going to go NHL Atlantic Division. Team are better or worse during the move of the worst during the off season. Example, Boston, I believe they are worse like they was compared last season. So we're going to talk about this per the next couple of shows outcoming. Don't forget Friday, Wednesday night, the Ab Barbecue Show Summertime with Enortap and Marco Larbi are going to join us. And don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. We are not done, guys, because there's a fun is starting. And we're going to go that. First of all, if you go on my on the channel, Hockey Nation, guys, every day I create a question about different things around NHL and Montreal Canadiens. And yesterday was about Brendan Gallagher and the season 2024 with Montreal Canadiens. How many goals do you expect? 44% of people get about 11, 15 guys, 465 people vote. That's pretty good if you think about that. And Mr. Enortap, what was your answer of that one?
It was the most popular one, 11 to 15.
I went with 16 to 20.
No. Mine was 11 to 15 also.
Here we go. So that get question. But Coach, what is on the question tonight for today? Which Canadian player could be on the EA Sport cover, Mr. Enortap, in the next 5 years? Is it Nick Suzuki, Kaden Cooley, Cole Caulfield, Lane Hudson, or any other players, Mr. Enortap?
Let's hope none of them, because as we know, whoever goes on the EA Sports cover tends to have a bad year that following year. So
I should put Daryl Strawberry, Mr. Enortap.
No, that's a
Daryl Strawberry. Yeah. Any other player? Any other player?
John ask you, how many games do you expect Gallagher play next year?
I think he'll put up about 60 games.
60 game?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a good answer.
We'll be interesting about that one over there for sure. But now it's time, Mr. Enortap. Are you ready? Because I think I got it. Here we go. The Tic-Tac-Toe game, Mr. Enortap. Tonight, we got the Anaheim Ducks, the Nashville Predator, the 500-plus goal carrier for Washington, Detroit, and the Colorado Avalanche, Mr. Enortap. Are you ready for that one?
Okay.
Who is the winner, Mr. Enortap, tonight? The one with the lowest percentage or the one with the highest percentage?
It's always
lowest,
the highest,
so I can
right?
win. Yeah, but we'll do the lowest tonight so I can win.
Here we go. We're going to get on that one, the lowest 10. We're going to start with Randy, Mr. Enortap. Randy, you gave me a choice about that one.
Let me see. Washington Capitals and Nashville Predators. Yeah, Washington Capitals and Nashville Predators. Didn't Erat play? Erat is his name? E-R-A-T.
For the Nashville Predator?
Yeah, and the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, he was the one who was straight for Philip Forsberg, Mr. Randy.
That's it. Yes, that's the one.
56%, Mr. Randy. You knocked the jackpot already, Mr. Randy. Mr.
You said the lowest, right? You said the lowest. Why don't you give me? Let's go with Washington 500 goals. Is Mr. Ovechkin.
That could be near the 50%. That could be near the 50%.
76%.
Holy cow, he won.
Ovechkin,
awesome.
He knocked the door. About that one over there. We're going to see what we got in the chat on that one over there. Nashville, Colorado, and Nashville. Yes, but he did not play game, so we cannot put this there over there, guys. For that, you guys in the chat, you can participate. We put your name there if you get that part over there. 500 game, 500 goal for the Colorado Avalanche, guys. I'm going to go with Joe Sakic.
Yep,
That's a good one.
that's a good one.
79%! I take
Oh, my
the lead!
goodness!
Oh,
Wow!
about that one over there. We're going to see what got in the chat, guy. We have someone pick up a plus right there. Goalie or 500 goal, Mr. For Gary Conway, guys. Goalie or Detroit. Goalie or.
Oh, that would be good.
Oh,
What do you have?
27%. Here we
I
go.
bet Stevie Y is high. Coach, I bet you Stevie Y is higher than that.
Save Eiserman could be the good one over there for sure. About that one over there. Jean-Pierre said Anaheim, Washington, Dustin Penner.
Yep.
Wait a minute. We have a better one, guys. First of all, Eric Knight, Matt Duchene, Colorado, and Nashville Predator.
What was the name?
Matt Duchene. I love that one.
Matt Duchene.
Yeah.
Duchene's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
46% on that one over there. That's a good one for sure. Anybody you have in the chat, guys, or hear you guys, both of us, give us some name. That'd be great. When Mike drop about this one. Anybody has Colorado, Nashville? We got Samuel Girard was a good one. Gislain for that one. Enortap or Randy?
Colorado and Nashville's Forsberg.
Yeah, but we already get it. So we have to go Detroit, Nashville, Detroit, Anaheim, Colorado Avalanche, and the Washington Anaheims.
How about I'm trying to think. Did Korea play for both
He
of them?
played for Colorado and Anaheim.
Someone
Colorado
said
and
Dustin
Anaheim, right?
Penner. Dustin Penner, do you
Korea.
feel
Oh, Korea.
Paul Carrier for
Korea.
which one?
Colorado and Anaheim.
Colorado and
Oh,
Anaheim.
I like that one. I like that one.
Yep.
Paul Carrier. 25% that one with there. We have 3 to go, guys. Nashville, Detroit. We have Detroit, Anaheim, and Washington Capitals. Someone said Dustin Penner. Someone remember
Dustin
Penner with
Penner
Washington
was
Capitals? I remember Penner with the Oilers.
He played with the Oilers and Anaheim.
See in the chat, we got Samuel Girard is out. Eric said Jean-Sébastien Giguère.
He played with.
Oh yeah, but we got Paul Carrier. It's too late.
Yeah, we got Paul Korea.
Jean-Pierre said Devontae Smith. I think he's right. Washington and Anaheim. Devontae, I think he's right about that one. 12%
Yeah, it's
about
probably-
this. We have 2 and 2 guys.
Yeah.
Detroit, Anaheim, and Nashville Predator.
How about Todd Bertuzzi?
Who?
For which one?
Todd Bertuzzi. Didn't he play for Detroit and Anaheim as well? Or am I wrong?
Didn't play for the Ducks. Didn't play for
No,
the
you
Ducks.
sure?
I didn't think he did.
I think you're right in our top, but we're going to see we get
I
people
think
in
so.
the chat.
I think he did.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
We have Whitney, Ray Whitney. Do you think he played with Detroit? I don't think so.
Whitney.
We got Selani
Yes, he
earlier.
did.
That's a good one about this one, GSS.
No,
And
no,
after-
no trap. Did Detroit's number one center, Larinoff, didn't he play for the Ducks? Larinoff, didn't he play for Detroit and Anaheim?
I don't.
I'm
know.
thinking me
I don't
always
know
about
for sure.
Lurianov, but I don't think so. Lurianov played
Yeah.
with Anaheim.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if he was on Anaheim.
I just
Very
said
much.
Roby Fabry.
Fabry
Did
for
Fabry
who?
play with Nashville?
Fabry with.
Oh,
Nashville.
Carey got Jordan Toto.
2-2.
Zone 2-2
Yes.
playing for
2-2.
Nashville, Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
great answer.
Yeah.
33%, not too bad, guys. We are 1-1 to
Great
win
job,
tonight, guys. Detroit, Anaheim. Can someone in the chat pick it up here?
I'm sure
Detroit, Anaheim. Justin said Todd Pertuzzi, Mr. Enortap.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'll
We'll
take
see.
the blame. I'll take the blame if it's not.
Is it Tyler or Todd?
Tyler.
Todd.
Todd, of course.
Yeah.
Do we get this at 367 point, guys? We got the 9-9 tonight. Congratulations, everybody. We get this. And the winner tonight on the
What's the
highest
percentage?
number, guys, it was me with the
I still can't believe you made 79%.
79%.
On any given
Joe
night,
Sakic, and the lowest one guy, it was 11. Todd Pertuzzi, Mr. Enortap. Which
Well,
is
On
like
Randy
any
that.
did
given
say
night,
the
my
lowest wins.
57% would have won.
On that one, with
Yeah,
that great
given night.
goals, everything. Adam Oates, by the way. Adam Oates. Can he play with Anaheim
Adam
too?
Oates would have been a really good one.
That was a good
Detroit
one over there.
and- yeah.
Fedorov.
Detroit and Washington.
Did Fedorov play with Nashville?
Who?
Fedorov?
Fedorov.
Yeah, possible.
No, I don't
How about
think
that
so.
one there?
No,
Great
he
comment,
played
guys.
for
I'm
Detroit
going to
and
finish
Anaheim.
the show, guys, on this one, the Frenchy Quiz. We have a Smith did with firm cover all the question about this. And honestly, question number 2 was not the Stanley Cup final, it was the semifinal between the Chicago and Detroit Red Wings. And the right answer was B and E at the end of the night. And 2 people got that right. It was Enortap and Nicolas de Gobi-Bono. They're going to the winner of last night with Reddy Walkman and the triple W, Wesh. The next opening wrestler against Willie Snyder. We expect that show, that fight is going to be only in October. WrestleMania 22 of the Hockey Nation sponsor. Danny is going to be the one is going to referee the game. Danny is an ex-My Dog
Special
Vachon
referee.
wrestler in Montreal, Danny T. But anyhow, Mr. Enortap, so that's what we got tonight, guys. Are you ready? Love it. Good night, Mr. William. I appreciate a lot about this one. GB and Irish Hockey about this one. We have 3 questions. Mr. Enortap, pressure tonight because you have Randy beside you.
Yeah.
There's no pressure with me beside you. Don't worry about me. My specialty is 0 for 3.
I doubt that.
In fact, I'm going to get answers help from the room.
Here we go. Which goalie has the most W in his first 500 game in NHL? Not an easy one, but it could be the right one. Frederick Anderson, Brendan Oldby, Jacques Plante, Andy Mogg, or Martin Brodeur, Mr. Enortap. This is from 50 years ago all the way to recently, Mr. Enortap. We'll see what happened. Good luck, everybody. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. Luciano said, "Hey, a minute. I look on my Google. I found Drew Miller."
Drew Miller.
Ron go with D. Andy Morg. Ron is ready to rock and roll. Andy Morg. Nicolas go with Plante. Jacques Plante. Jean-Pierre go with 16. Go with C. Jacques Plante 2. Eric, thanks so much. Eric, I think it's the first time. If not, welcome back. If you are, welcome. Guys, don't forget to click on the like. That'd be awesome if you don't mind. Jean-Pierre go with Jacques Plante. John Durgeon go with Brodeur. GSM with E. John Durgeon with E. Ryan go with E. Luc Lafontaine go with Jacques Plante. Gary go with B. Then we have someone in the email comment here. They will pick up his out about that one. We'll wait for more people. Justin Laframboise go with C. Thanks so much about this one there. The time is over. We're going to wait for other people to participate. B for RG. Mr. Enortap, which one you answer?
I think this happened maybe about 3 years ago, but wasn't it Holtby that supplanted Plante?
It could be. We don't know. Mr. Randy.
Okay, I'll go with B.
All right.
He's right. He's right. In fact, I remember the night that Holtby did it. B.
Yeah.
Oh my
You're absolutely right. The winner of that one, Mr. Enortap, Randy Walkman, and Gary Conway is the answer about this one there. 0.5 for GP about that one there because he was a second answer about that one. Smith did it already difficult about this one. Congratulations, Mr. Enortap, to remind that one. Great comments about this, by the way. Congratulations about this, number 2.
I'm not worthy, Enortap. I'm not worthy.
You just proved you are. And surpassed it.
We want to give that one a Claude Richard and Luciano guys are a good answer. I know they are delayed sometimes, so we'll give them a good answer about that one over there for sure. No worry about that. Mr. Enortap, question number 2.
Don't give it to Luciano.
From this list, which NHL team has the most first overall pick? Only from that list, not overall, but who are the team has the most first overall pick in the franchise? Good luck, everybody. Islanders, North Star, Senators, Sabres, or the Pittsburgh Penguins? Which team had the most first overall pick during the franchise? Mr. Enortap. Thank you for half the point, coach. You're welcome, GP. That's the roll Smith did with. That's the roll 8.06, Mr. GP. Brendan Olby. Here we go. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be awesome. I don't have no answer yet, Mr. Enortap. Beat the North Star, Nicolas de Gauby-Bonneau. Try to win for the second night, back-to-back. Trail right now by 1 behind Enortap, Randy Walkman, Gary Conway, Claude Richard, and Luciano Graziano. D for Eric. Thanks so much, Eric. Appreciate a lot. Luc Laforcin go with B. We have GS. Where Edmonton? They are not there. That's the question behind that, GSS. Andy, we will go with the Islanders. Islanders. And then we're going to wait for a couple of people. Ron King go with A. GSM go with E. Thanks so much. The Pittsburgh Penguins. John Turgeon, my heart said B, but something tell me is D. And then Gary go with D. RG go with C. Thanks so much, RG. I appreciate a lot. Mr. Randy.
Well, I'm thinking it's either D or E. So I'm going to take a wild stab at it and go D. Sabres.
Which one?
D. Buffalo.
All right. Enough that.
I'm going to take one of the, I don't know here. This one's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to go with the Islanders.
Islanders with A?
Yeah.
You said D.
No, I said A.
I thought for sure you
Taking
said
it.
D.
An older team.
All right, Claude Richard, we have, hold on, guys, we have more people pick it up. And John said E. Welcome back, John, by the way. Glad to have you. Luciano, I don't have the answer for Luciano, guys. I'm waiting for Luciano. Mr. Enortap.
Oh my God!
Your second
What
option.
would be my second answer? I knew it. I don't know. Maybe the Penguins?
Yeah.
No. Tonight, it was the Buffalo Sabres, guys. Have most of them, 4 of them have with the Edmonton Oilers, like GSM gave it to us, guys. Wow, well, now we have Gary Conway take the lead at 2, followed by Randy Walkman. Randy is on fire. Claude Richard is at 2. I don't know what happened with Luciano. I don't know if Luciano will pick up. Luciano said, hey, follow about Enortap. Enortap, Luciano said because of Enortap on that one. Then Eric and John Turgeon and Justin Laframboise have a good answer about that. Not question number 2. 1 to go, guys. Some people can tie the game or some people can win the game. On the top 10 most win by an NHL goalie, how many of them are not in the Hall of Fame, Mr. Enortap? they're all in, or one of them, two of them, three of them, or four of them are not an Hall of Famer in NHL. The top 10 goaltender with the most W in the NHL history, Mr. Enortap. Luciano fell out of this chair. Look la personne. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like if you don't mind. Run, go with C. Thanks so much. Run, appreciate that. Do move this one. Nicolas, go with D. Thanks so much. Andy, go with E. John, Jesus, that's hard. Welcome, John. Hopefully, you're going to come back. We're knowledgeable about hockey, by the way. I appreciate that. GSM, go with C. John Turgeon, go with A. Thanks so much. We have Ren. Thanks so much with B. Justin Framboise with B. The time is good there. Gary, go with B. Luc Laforcine, go with A. Thanks so much. Luc tried to break the 0-2 to get the 0 to maybe 1 and 3. And you're welcome, John. Mr. Enortap.
I'm going to go with E. 4.
E4. Mr. Randy. If you are right, Mr. Randy, you win.
Yeah,
maybe with some other people.
Chances of me winning is me winning a lottery ticket. I was either going to go with E or B, so I'm going to trust the Enortap here and go E.
E with 4.
You boxed me out. Come on. You can't do that.
Well, do you want me to pick another answer?
I'm waiting for other people. Guys, Lucien with E, Nicolas with D. I'm waiting for Claude Richard answer, guys, because he take the lead with Randy and Gary Cournoyer, so be sure he's right around. GP go with B. Thanks so much about this one over there. We wait for Claude Richard, guys. Before that, maybe Mr. Wright, Randy, or Claude Richard go with A.
I think Gary's right. I think Gary's 1. I think it's 1. In fact, I'm more than sure it's 1.
Are you changing your answer, Randy?
No, I'm not. Because if I change my answer, I lose anyways. What's the difference?
Wow, guys. Listen, guys, I take my time. I want to be sure. Gary Cournoyer, Randy Walkman, and Claude Richard are 2 good answers. All of them, if they get right, they are win the game. Obviously, right. Mr. Enortap, they are wrong. What is the second option, Mr. Enortap?
Oh my gosh, I thought I was right. I'm going to go with 3 then.
3, yes.
The answer, guy, is only 2.
2?
Curtis Joseph and Marc-André Fleury.
So there's a bunch of winners at 2 out of 3 tonight then.
So, guys, what happening? Everybody John Turgeon, all right? Eric Knight, Ghislain Laframboise, Luciano Graziano, Enortap, RJ, all of them could tie the game, but they are wrong. So we still, Gary Cournoyer, Randy Walkman, and Claude Richard are the winner, guys, of the contest tonight. Could tie the game, but did not. Congratulations about that one over there. Randy knocked the door again. A back-to-back game for Randy Walkman. That will give Randy right now is Randy. Where's Randy on that list?
I think it's my man.
4 games for Randy Walkman. Claude Richard. Second of the season for Claude Richard. And we have to go with Gary Cournoyer. We'll see what Gary is on that contest. Gary Cournoyer is at number 3 of the year, Mr. Enortap, the winner of the show tonight. Great performance, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. It was great to have Randy here at the Hockey National Show. Bring knowledge about hockey. We definitely bring back next week for sure. Tomorrow night, we're going to get possibly Michael DeVillano. If not, I'm going to talk myself with you guys. And then Wednesday night, don't forget the Ab Barbecue Show. We're going to bring some kind. Look, set 0-3 again, Mr. Enortap, about this one over there. Unfortunately, Mr. Enortap, your streak is over. But you still take the lead at 10, Mr. Enortap. Andy is following by Mr. Andy Koivula and RJ. Andy AK at 7 and RJ is at 6. Nicolas Degoubi is at 5. Randy Walkman now take the lead, top 5 at 4. So that's what we got again. That was happening tonight, guys.
I've got to make a comment to Auntie. He's awesome. Auntie, you are
Always
the smartest person outside Enortap. Auntie, you're number one.
Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'd be awesome. Before we leave, we want to thank all the moderator guys to join us tonight. It was great to having each one of the moderator. Ron, Jose, thanks so much for the super sticker tonight. Luciano, it was another one part of the show tonight. We want to thank the co-hosts tonight, Randy Walkman and Enortap. And all the people, guys, we have a lot of new people in the chat, guys. You make the Hockey Nation better. And don't forget, we have another channel called the Ad Nation. Just started a couple of days ago. And then that's what we got tonight, guys. Before we leave, we always remember, because he is the man at the end of this row. I'm talking about him.
Awesome.
He is there.
You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Yes, he has greatness inside of him. I'm talking about Mr. Randy and the legend, Mr. Enortap. Until the next time, guys, we want to remind each one of you, of course, be well, be ill, find a way not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half of what, Mr. Enortap?
You're 2023.
You did it again. Have an amazing, great night, sweet dream, everybody. Remember, we love you, everybody. Thanks again, Enortap and Randy Walkman. I'll see you next weekend, next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, Hockey Nation. Good night, everyone.
Night, Hockey Nation.
I don't want you to just let me be. Oh, oh, oh. What do I know? What's going on
Where's
now?
Jack at?
Is this
Where's Mom?